Hello, this is Ohfour Mouse. I'm not fat. I'm just a little husky. Another little dumb idea, little double entendre, little pun. And this was something I want to draw for TFF coming up, a little badge design I'm going to sell there. And I could spend a while talking about my whole process and shading and everything, but I feel like I'm kind of repeating myself. Like, my process doesn't really change that much. Like, my subject matter does, my actual way I go about it does, shading, coloring, everything. But, I've kind of refined my process over the time, and thought it'd be a bit more interesting kind of talk about whatever I want. I started digital art in 2011. I got into My Little Pony after high school. Binge watched all of season 1 after it was out, and once the final episode there, I was like, well, that's it. That's all I'm gonna do. And then I saw this amazing fan art, got really into it, got into the fandom. First real fandom I got into, seriously, that was still active and still ongoing at the time. And seeing all this amazing fan art out there and all this really cool stuff on Equestria Daily and everything, got me into, I really wanted to get into digital art. Post my art online, do all that stuff. And, that was 9 years ago now. Feels like so long ago. And throughout all that time I had been drawing consistently. I don't think I've ever gone more than 2 months without putting something online I've drawn. And that is kind of weird to think about. I think about all this time, and sometimes I think I should be better at art by this point. I should be better. I should be super amazing. But sometimes I see I still feel like I have this small following. I feel like no one knows me. I know I'm pretty more well known than I've been last year or 2 years ago, but sometimes it's still hard to feel that way. And it's just something you gotta live with. It's something you gotta figure why am I doing this? Why am I doing this art? And for me personally, why am I doing this art? Because if I wasn't doing it, what would I do? Sit and play video games all day? No. Just my personality. I want to create something. I want to do something. I want to look back on my time and say I accomplished this, and have this piece of artwork to show yes, I did this. I finished this. I can put it out there and show it off and say yes, I did this. I went from a blank canvas to this artwork, and it was all me. That's a good feeling to have, and certainly something I do enjoy. Beyond just people enjoying my artwork, that is something I want to do. And I do appreciate feedback and everything, and people liking my art, and I've come to really like my style of humor, of how I draw and what I draw. And it's just something that I've developed over 9 years, I guess. It feels I feel better as an artist than I've ever been, and it is a good feeling. But at the same time, I had 4-ish years of just drawing ponies and nothing but ponies, and maybe some Pokemon here and there. But all that time, I feel would have been better spent if I really went outside the box and really tried different things and really did a bunch of different styles and shading and characters and whatever. But I just kind of stuck to tried and true, and I don't want to get in that rut again. I don't want to just say this is my style, this is what I'm going to do every time. This is how I do it, XYZ, like a math formula. I don't want to do that. I want you to look at my art and say definitely Ohfour Mouse drew this, but I want it to look different than almost every other artwork I did. I guess I kind of want each artwork to be unique in a different way. I don't know, it's kind of a weird thing to think about, because a lot of my artwork has the same tropes and same style and the same characters, and a lot of it is similar, but at the same time I just want to really experiment, I guess. And it kind of feels weird, talking about all this stuff that's kind of been in my head that I never really talk about with anyone. My persona is a mouse, and that's for a reason. I'm a shy boy, quiet boy, stick to myself a lot, but I'm very introspective and kind of think about all this kind of dumb stuff that really only matters to me most of the time. I kind of assume, I know it goes in the face of this video being out there in the public where I talk about myself and everything. But I kind of assume like 5 people will listen to this all the way through, and I know who you are. Don't think I don't notice. I know who you are. I'm sure you can find out more about me, but I kind of keep my Ohfour mouse profiles online pretty vague about details about myself, and that's on purpose. Like, I just use my profile to post art mostly, and maybe a few things here and there, but mostly it's just my art profile. And like, I think I read that somewhere, like, if you want people to follow you for art, you should only post your art on there. I don't know. That is kind of a factor. Like, if I see a profile that only posts their art, like, I'm more likely to follow them if I like their art, versus if they do like a bunch of random retweets of random things I'm not interested in. You know, you're free to run your account however you want, of course. But, you know, I prefer to keep my account, like, just focused on my artwork and stuff I do in general. But yeah, I do tend to be pretty shy and pretty reserved about myself and talking about myself in real life. Like, something I've definitely gotten better at over the years, but at the same time, it's still, like, a long ways to go. But I do have friends, I do have people I can trust on and rely on, and a really nice, supportive family and everything, but also I am very reserved and very quiet, and don't let a lot of people into my really personal thoughts. Like, I guess it's not uncommon. There's a lot of people just, like, keep to themselves and keep quiet and don't let a lot of people into their very personal lives. Yeah. A lot of people are reserved. A lot of people don't let you in. That's not surprising. Like, sometimes I wish I could just, like, sit down with someone and tell them, like, tell me all your deepest, darkest secrets. Like, what do you really think? What do you really think about this stuff, your situation, your life? And that's a hard conversation to have, you know? It's a lot of trust you gotta build with someone to have that conversation, I guess. And I know I'm getting kind of personal here, but, you know, just kind of thinking about life and what I'm doing, like, why I'm doing it. Like, I don't know. I guess I spent a lot of time on art as well, because I didn't have people I could go out with after high school. I spent most of my time alone, and, like, artwork's a good chance to make that time alone productive. Like, if you're not sitting out there with friends or whatever, like, at least you could, like, draw something, right? That feels kind of a sad way to say it, but it's kind of true. Like, before, a few years ago, like, I had very few friends I could go out with and hang out with. I went to a bunch of meetups, I went to a bunch of pony meetups and brony meetups and met a lot of friends there, but, you know, it still took me a while to actually get up the courage and do that. And I didn't do that until, like, 2013, 2012-ish, and, you know, that is what it is. And this kind of video is kind of an experiment, I guess, like, talking about whatever and all this stuff. Of all the places you could be online, you're listening to this video right here, right now. Just you and me talking to you over the internet, over time. You know, I'm in my room recording this to no one in particular, and you right now are listening to this and hearing my displaced voice out of time, out of place, and, like, what are you thinking right now? Like, what do you really think? Like, about your life, your friends, your job or school or whatever you do. What do you want? What do you want? Where are you going? What's your goal? Like, I don't know. Those are hard questions to ask and answer. Like, if I were to answer them, like, what do I want? I guess I want security. I want a nice, easy job, or to retire early. I want to be able to focus on drawing, which is a big one for me I'm working on, because it's so hard for me to focus sometimes. I just get distracted or stuff. Like, this recording, I did it like 10 times over before I finally settled on what I wanted. And, like, I guess the best recording just comes from the heart, and kind of like a rambling on from the heart that you, of things that just come to your mind that you want to talk about. This was an experimental video, and something kind of different, I guess. But, I really do hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope you enjoyed what I talked about, and do let me know if you liked it, if I want to do more things like this in the future, because I'm up for talking about whatever. Talk about myself, my life, in vague terms. I don't want to tell you like my social security number or anything. But I really do hope you enjoyed, and I am pretty proud of how this artwork turned out as well. So I hope to see you next time, and do thank you for watching.